Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're looking at something really fascinating happening in China. Rural live streaming. It's booming.
And it really is.
We've got an article from The Economist. Edible rats are China's latest live streaming stars, which sounds, well, intriguing.
Definitely catches the eye.
Our mission today is basically to unpack this whole trend. What's driving it? What are the impacts? What makes it tick?
It's such a contrast, isn't it? You think of traditional farming, maybe back-breaking labor.
Right.
And now you have farmers holding up their phones, live streaming, selling goods directly.
Totally. And making serious money sometimes.
Yeah, that's the kicker.
Like this one example, Xing Jianli. She used to work in a factory, now she grows peonies.
Okay.
And by live streaming from her fields, she can pull in like 3,000 yuan, about $400 on a good day.
Wow, per day.
Per day. She apparently said that was just impossible before e-commerce came along.
That really puts it in perspective. A month's factory wage, potentially, in one day selling flowers online.
It's transformative, but it's built on something that's been happening for a while, right? Urban live streaming commerce.
Exactly. That's been huge in China for, a decade now. People like the Lipstick King, selling billions worth of goods.
Right. So this rural version is kind of the next wave, maybe?
Seems like it.
Yeah.
It's taking that model and applying it in a totally different context.
So let's dig into that economic impact a bit more. Xing and Jianli's story is powerful, but what about the bigger picture?
Well, the numbers are pretty staggering. The article mentions Kuaishou. That's a big short video platform popular in rural areas.
Mm-hmm.
In 2023, they handled 1.4 billion orders for agricultural products.
Billion, with a B.
Yep. And that was a 56% increase from the year before.
That's explosive growth.
It really is. And then you've got Alibaba, they reported 441 billion yuan in sales coming from poorer rural villages between 2021 and 2024.
Huge amounts of money flowing into these areas.
Absolutely. It's direct market access on a scale they just, never had before.
And it's not just the farmers themselves getting involved, is it?
No, you're seeing new roles emerge.
Yeah.
Like middlemen, but digital ones.
Okay.
The article talks about Feng Yanhui.
Yeah.
She's 30, buys peonies from farmers.
Right.
And then she live streams every evening to sell them on. Right. She even moves around following the seasons and the blooms.
So a sort of nomadic digital entrepreneur?
Kinda, yeah. It shows how people are adapting, finding new niches within this ecosystem.
It's really innovative, and it seems like local governments are noticing this potential.
Oh, definitely. They're not just letting it happen, they're actively trying to foster it.
How so?
Well, in places like Hanzhou, where Xinjiang, the peony farmer, is from local government, is offering training.
Training for live streaming?
Yeah, like sales scripts, presentation techniques, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Targeting returning migrant workers, college grads, people they want to keep or bring back to the villages.
That's proactive. They see it as a development strategy.
Precisely. They even held a live streaming competition back in March just to, encourage more farmers to give it a try.
Trying to build that momentum.
And they're using local success stories, too. There's a fruit seller, Li Xiaoxia.
Okay.
She has something like 450,000 followers. Got famous partly because she started using little English phrases in her sales pitch.
Like what?
An apple a day keeps the doctor away, that sort of thing.
A little gimmick to stand out.
Exactly. It highlights that it's not just what you sell, but how you sell it. You need that edge in a crowded online space.
Makes sense. Personality and a unique angle matter. But it gets even more interesting because it's not always about, apples or peonies. Sometimes it's about selling a lifestyle.
Yeah, this is a really fascinating dimension. Selling the experience of rural life.
So, less tangible goods.
Right. The article mentions the Huanan brothers. They got really popular live streaming their life, farming bamboo rats.
Bamboo rats, the edible ones mentioned in the title.
Those are the ones. Apparently, they're eaten in some parts of China. So their streams offer this very specific window into a particular rural practice.
Okay, that's definitely different. Gives open viewers a glimpse of something unfamiliar.
Exactly. And then you have the absolute superstar of this genre, Li Ziki.
Ah, yes, I've heard of her. Huge following.
Massive. Over 28 million followers on Weibo alone. Her videos are, they're beautiful.
Very stylized, right? Idyllic.
Totally. Harvesting food, cooking traditionally, beautiful scenery, calming music. It's a highly curated vision of rural life.
And incredibly successful.
Phenomenally. Her online store reportedly did 1.6 billion yuan in sales back in 2020.
Wow. Just Wow, that's selling an aspiration, essentially.
Absolutely. It taps into this perhaps urban longing for simplicity, for nature, for authenticity, or at least an idealized version of it.
A powerful combination of visuals and commerce.
For sure. Though the article notes it's not all idyllic lifestyles being streamed.
Mm-hmm.
There are apparently some who gain followings doing more extreme things, like drinking dangerous amounts of liquor on camera.
Right. So the full spectrum of online content, just with a rural backdrop.
Pretty much. It shows the diversity of how people are using these platforms in rural settings.
Okay, so you have flowers, fruit, bamboo rats, idealized lifestyles. It sounds like a booming area. But does that mean it's getting crowded? Is there tough competition?
That's definitely happening. Like any gold rush, I suppose.
Yeah.
More people jump in, the competition heats up.
Makes sense.
The peony seller mentioned earlier, Li Hui.
Right, the one who seemed optimistic.
Yeah, he acknowledges the competition. He even commented that some newcomers, they don't really understand the products, like the nuances of peonies.
So knowledge still matters. You can't just turn on a camera.
Exactly. There's still value and expertise and, building trust with your audience. Despite the competition, Li Hui was still projecting pretty big sales, like 500,000 flowers.
So quality and knowledge can still win out, potentially.
It seems so. Having that genuine connection and product understanding gives you an edge.
Okay, so let's try to wrap this up. What are the big takeaways from this deep dive?
Well, I think the main thing is that rural live streaming in China is a really significant economic and social shift. It's not just a niche thing anymore.
Right, it's creating real income, changing how people think about rural work.
And how urban consumers connect with rural products and, well, rural life itself. It's this blend, isn't it? Old school agriculture meets new school digital tech.
Yeah, powered by individual entrepreneurs and, interestingly, boosted by local government initiatives.
The sheer variety is also striking. From flowers and food to, yes, edible rats and these aspirational lifestyle videos.
That's the aha moment for me, I think. The range of it all and the money involved. Those sales figures are just enormous.
They really are. It shows the scale and, honestly, the creativity that's being unleashed.
It definitely leaves you thinking, doesn't it, about how digital tools can just completely reshape economies and even cultures, especially in places you might not expect.
Absolutely. Places may be seen as disconnected from these big global tech trends.
Makes you wonder, what's next? What other traditional industries or, ways of life could get this kind of digital makeover through live streaming and connecting directly with people?
That's the provocative thought, isn't it? Where else could this direct-to-consumer, visually driven model take hold? Something to mull over.
Definitely something to think about. Thanks for unpacking that with me today.
My pleasure. Fascinating stuff.